For a long time now, there's been a lot of people who are really committed to nature conservation. They're on side, if you like, but what we've realized over a number of years is that actually nature is valuable to everyone. And what we're trying to do is actually just win more people over to realizing the importance of nature for their own lives, for their livelihoods, for their food, for their protection. If we could show people the value of coral reefs in generating fish, or of mangrove forests in breaking waves as they come into the shore and preventing flooding. If we could show people those values accurately quantified, we would win more people over to caring for and looking after nature. The Nature Conservancy have been mapping the value of nature. The best example of how innovative we've been was coral reef tourism mapping. We split the value of coral reefs into two. The first is what we call the on-reef tourism values. That's where people go to be on the reef to do something, whether it's a glass-bottomed boat or a snorkeling trip or a dive trip. And that's super valuable. It's kind of obvious. But the piece that's less obvious is the reef-adjacent value. It's the value of being near a reef without maybe ever going to that reef. People lie on beaches that are made by the reef. The calm, clear waters are because of the reef. The delicious seafood is because of the reef. So there's that reef-adjacent value, which is enormous, that is often overlooked. So when we got the map out, I'm kind of excited. There's this global map, and you can see these red hot spots, if you like, of value. But one of the things that struck me almost immediately was that the value is everywhere. There are about 105 jurisdictions that have coral reefs. 70 of those have what we call million-dollar reefs. These are reefs that are generating $1 million per square kilometre every year. So that's a pretty good amount of money to be getting year on year with almost no investment on our part. We're just getting that benefit from the reefs. Million-dollar reefs are found in Kenya, in the Seychelles, in the Maldives, but even actually some of the relatively small island nations which have a big dive industry. We need to be very cautious when we're talking about coral reef tourism. Tourism has caused many problems, and I don't want to ignore that. But tourism can also be a huge opportunity. Tourism can be a lifeline to local economies where there's overfishing. Tourism can take fishers out of the fishing world and they become the dive guides working in the industry. They take some of the pressures off reefs. Another positive effect of tourism has come when the hotels or the industry or the dive operators have become aware of this immense value offshore and have started to pressure for change. So we've got wonderful stories of often smaller hotels who have taken control. Missoul in Indonesia is a nice example. And so we're seeing new marine protected areas being led by the industry. The reason we want to tell all of this is to get more engagement, more concern by the industry, by the governments that have some control over the industry, to almost to wake up, to say, this is a resource, this is the goose that lays the golden eggs, let's not kill it, let's look after it for the long term. Let's do whatever we can to make sure these reefs keep generating the income that so many people depend on.